Hi, my name is Andrea, and today I want to teach you how to make one of the first projects that my grandmother taught me how to make when I was a child. This is an 8-petal crochet flower, and then I'm going to border the flower with rows and rows of little groups of double crochets that is eventually going to turn into an afghan. Okay, so I will be using a G6 4.25 millimeter hook. If your hook says G6 but it says 4.00, don't worry about that. And it can be the size up or down from this, but this is what I'm using, a G6, and I am using yarn from the Karen brand in white. And I'm just going to do a regular knot. I am not going to do a slip knot. I've explained in a video, I explained in my chain stitch video that I do not do slip knots. So I just tie my knot on I just tie my yarn on the hook like this, just like a regular old knot. I fold it over, pull it through, and just tighten it like a regular knot, and not too tight. You want the yarn to be able to slide over the hook. All right, so go ahead and wind your yarn around your fingers. Hold firmly with your middle finger and your thumb, and go ahead and chain 8. Okay, so now you have chained 8. And now go ahead and you're going to join this together to make a circle. So take your hook and insert it in the hole of the first chain, and you can just see, you can go straight through the first strand here because it looks like it's overlapping a little bit. And so just find that first strand of that first chain and kind of bring your yarn over so that it's not getting caught up. And I want you to yarn over and bring through that hole, steady everything with your fingers, and continue to bring it through that second loop. And then kind of pull down a little bit. That is called a slip stitch. Basically just joining it without making any height of a stitch of any kind. This is just a slip stitch. And now you have this circle. Okay, now go ahead and chain 3. Great. Okay, so now you have a circle and you have a chain 3. And now go ahead and turn your work like so, so that the tail is now on the right side. And you're going to double crochet 3 more times. So now this chain 3 is now acting as a double crochet, and you're going to make 3 more double crochets over the chain through the loop. And I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So yarn over and go in through the hole, in through the ring, yarn over, pull up a loop. So now you have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, draw through the first 2 loops, yarn over again, and draw through the last 2 loops. If you watched my double crochet video, you'll be familiar with this. So this is a double crochet right next to a chain 3 that is acting like a double crochet. okay? And what you can do now is, see how they're a little spaced out? Go ahead and take this and slide it over so it's tied up against that chain. And then pull down a little bit to keep it even. And we'll go ahead and do 2 more. So yarn over, go all the way under and through the ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, draw through the first 2 loops, yarn over again, and draw through the last 2. One more time, yarn over, go all the way in through the ring, yarn over, pull back through, pulling up a loop, yarn over, come through both loops. So now I have 2 loops left on the hook, yarn over, draw through the last 2 loops. Okay, so now let's double check. So counting the chain as the double, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. So now what we're going to do is we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And now we're going to turn the work again. So now tails on the left side. We're looking at the backs of those double crochets, and we're going to chain in the remaining 3 that we have here. So this chain 3 is extending straight from the double crochet below it, and so we don't need to do anything here, but we have 3 more spaces, we have 3 more double crochets that we're going to work into, and we're going to double in those. So go ahead and yarn over, and you'll see that you're not going to work in this one because that's where we are right now. You're going to go into the next one. So you'll go underneath the little oval, and you're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, and you can use your finger to kind of help straighten things out. And then you're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull through the first 2 loops. And you've got 2 loops left on the hook. You're going to yarn over again and pull through the last 2 loops. Pull it down a little bit, and then you're going to do it again. Yarn over, slide through underneath the little oval, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over again, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over again, and pull through the last 2 loops. So now you have 1, 2, 3, and now you have this chain 3 from before, and you're going to make a double crochet in the top chain. So you're going to yarn over, and you just find that top strand, and you can see how I'm using my thumb. You're going to be using all of your fingers in crochet to really help maneuver the yarn and the hook and everything. So don't get too rigid in thinking you have to hold things a certain way. You know, you're using all of your fingers at times. So anyway, you're going to yarn over, pull through that top chain, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, and pull through the second 2. And now when you're looking at this, you've got 4 and 4. Okay, so now you're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and again, turn your work again. So it's like this. And then you can slide. It's easier if you hold it like this with your middle and your thumb, and you take your index finger and you do that. That makes it easier to slide them. Okay, and now if you remember that slip stitch from earlier, you're going to come straight down to the ring, go through the ring, pull up a loop, grab the yarn, pull up a loop like this, and instead of yarning over, you are just going to bring it straight through. Again, that is a slip stitch. There's no yarning over other than when you went down to grab the yarn, but you're not yarning over again, you're pulling straight through like that. Okay, and then just keep it nice and tight. Again, you can slide it over like that. And that is the first petal of the flower. Okay, and so we're going to repeat this 7 more times to make an 8-petal flower. Okay, so we'll do the other petal together again, and then we will work together to complete the flower. Okay, so go ahead and chain 3. Okay, so yarn over, insert underneath and through the ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, draw through 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, grab the yarn, pull up a loop, yarn over, draw through 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, draw through the last 2 loops on the hook, and one more time, yarn over, insert through the ring, yarn over, bring back through, pulling up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, draw through 2 loops on the hook, and yarn over, draw through the last 2 loops on the hook. And now we have 4 double crochet. We have a chain 3 acting as a double, and 1, 2, 3 double crochet. Tighten it a little bit just to keep things even. And we're going to chain 3. Okay. And we are going to turn. We're going to turn. And remember, this is straight, and we have 1 acting as a double, so we're going to do 3 more double here. So the next double crochet is this little V shape, oval shape right here. Okay, pull on the yarn a little bit to keep tension good, yarn over, and insert directly underneath those 2 strands, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, draw through the 2 loops, the first 2, yarn over, draw through the last 2 loops on the hook, Okay, and yarn over. And slide them underneath. Pull through, yarn over, pull through the 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, and now we need 1 more, and we're putting it in the top of this chain 3. So yarn over, just find the side strand of that chain, yarn over, pull through that chain, yarn over, pull through the 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2. Pull down a little bit for tension and count 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to chain 4. Just like that. Then we're going to turn this way. And we're going to join it to the ring. And before we do that, let's go ahead and slide these double crochet over to tighten them up. You can push this out a little bit to make it kind of curved a little bit so that you can be behind the petal. Go ahead and find the ring, go through, yarn over, pull it through, use your other finger if you need it, pull it down with your other fingers, and continue through with that slip stitch. And then slide it over, and then you can pull it to tighten it. And there you have 2 little petals. Okay, and let's go ahead and make 6 more. Okay, so this is our last petal. So we are going to chain 3 and make 3 more double crochets. And you'll see that I have had to many times scoot over, even in the middle of the petal as I'm making them, because room is getting a lot tighter. And also you'll find that knot that you first made with that first, when you tied the yarn onto the hook, so you are now pretty much just yarning directly over that to weave it in and make it disappear. And 1 more. And so now I will just go over the entire bulk of that knot there. And now it is gone. And I have my 4. I'm going to tighten this a little bit. I'm going to do my very last chain 3. And I'm going to turn it one last time. Work in the back of these double crochet to complete the petal. And we're in that last chain 3 right here, yarn over, slip it in that chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, draw through the 2 loops, yarn over, draw through the last 2 loops, and then we're going to do our very last chain 4. Okay, and you're going to turn it one last time, and you're going to just part the petals a little bit, find your way in the middle there, do your very last slip stitch, and so just come in between those petals there, and you're going to draw through just like that. And then you can always draw through one more time and make a very, not too long, but a tail like this. And this is, be careful not to snip the wrong one. So this is the slack yarn. I'm gonna take the hook off and I'm going to cut. I'm going to cut and pull it out and pull this tight. And that completes your flower. So you have a very cute little flower with all these little petals. And then what you can do too, so now you have these strands to work with. You will not need these strands for anything. And so what you can do is weave them into the flower, just around the loop until it disappears. And I will show you how to do that. So one thing you need, definitely need in your toolbox for crochet is this needle. It is a blunt tip, and it is what you need for, you could actually do without it. You could use crochet hooks to do it, but this makes it so much easier and quicker. So this is just like a regular sewing needle, only it is for yarn projects, and so it has a nice blunt needle. And buy a few of them, because I don't know about you, but I tend to lose things sometimes. And so I find myself wondering where these went off to. But anyway, so what you're gonna do is you're looking at the back of your flower now. And what I like to do is, basically what I like to do when they're short strands like this, is I feed it through before threading it. And so go ahead and just find the center, or just find underneath the first strands, and it can be, it's not perfect, and you just kind of wiggle it through until you find your way through. And see, I'm not coming out on the other side. It's not showing on the other side. I'm going just underneath these strands of these double crochets, and I'll just choose to come out right here. So then I'm going to take my yarn and just put it through like a sewing needle. Okay, like that. So just like a regular needle and thread. And then I'm going to pull through like that. And that'll be pretty much all you need to do. You can do more, you can do all the way around if you want. I'm gonna choose to stop here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull just a little bit extra, and then I'm going to cut it close. And so when I straighten it back out, it completely disappears. Okay, so we'll do it one more time with this tail. And I'm actually gonna go the opposite direction. So I'm gonna go this way since I already went around with the other one. So just find the loops of the bottom of those crochets you did, and just kind of wiggle the needle through. Sometimes you'll find a little resistance. That's okay, just keep going. So I'm gonna go through like that. I'm just gonna choose to stop there. And just pinch it, try to get it. Sometimes this is hard getting the yarn through the eye of the needle there. But if you get most of the strands of yarn, it'll most likely pull through the rest of the strand. Okay, and then go ahead and just pull through like that. And then I'm going to pull a little tighter. I'm going to snip it close, straighten it out, and it disappears. Just like that. All right, and so this is how you can make a very simple, cute little flower that is going to be the center of an afghan that you now know how to make because you know how to do the basic stitches of crochet. Now, if you don't like the hole in the center of this flower to be this big, I did it this big just to make the tutorial easier so you could really see the ring that you were working the double crochets through. If you don't like the hole being this big and you want it maybe a little smaller, a little tighter, you can chain 5. 5 would be a good number instead of 8 before making that ring. If you did 5, it would tighten it up a little bit and make it smaller. So once you get better and good at these flowers, you can tighten up that hole if you prefer the look of a smaller hole in the center of your flower. But anyway, that is an 8-petal flower for my grandmother's afghan. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial for the 8-petal crochet flower. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I would love it if you subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.